pick. SK Prime will probably leave their mid lane pick for much lower down unless they're going to prioritize something like a LeBlanc here that's been left open.
Yeah, that was going to be my one tell is
the
actually...
caveat.
Yeah, is Fabiven's been playing more AP assassin types. Who's got like Fizz, Cass, and LeBlanc in there, and maybe that's the contested pick you look for. Now, Twitch is up right now, as are all the conventional support. So if you want like to rush pick a Morgana or something, that's available. There's actually, I feel like there's a lot of cream in the crop up right now because people have been like the tier 2 of most of the roles right here.
Yeah, the thing here is I think they'll probably first pick a Twitch because... Okay.
No.
Okay. They're going to go with it. They leave Twitch open in the 1-2 spots here for SK-Gaming because Zeiss can just go ahead and pick that up himself. Yeah.
Yeah.
I completely understand that because Lucian's banned away. Now you're going to force Zirene onto something like a Jinx, which he does play a lot of.
Sure.
And he's still really good at. But up against a Twitch, she's very assassin. You can get on her.
Oh, yeah.
She can't get away.
You get a head on Twitch, Jinx dies.
Yes.
Yes. That's going to be a risk right here. And of course, Elise is there picked up for Gilius in the jungle. So you've got great early pressure, right? Ways to make the ganks happen, as well as the fact that, hey, you've got some ways to get picks later on. Twitch stealth, Elise cocoons. A lot of things going to be annoying, but H2k going to make their own choices. Elise on one side, Evelynn on the other, and now Thresh Gripe for support.
Yeah, AOD's most played is Thresh right now, and that signals to me that they might play the Jinx now for certain because she has the safety in Thresh. Get him out with the Lantern.
Yeah.
Also set up the Chompers very well with a hook.
Exactly. It works on both sides, too.
Yes.
Like, you want Thresh to keep Twitch safe, but also Thresh, such a good laner, can help Twitch shut Twitch down. I love this pickup right here. I think it's the right choice for H2k. We'll see how good AOD is with the hooks. This is the first time we're seeing him in Challenger in this kind of event with his new team. So it's a question to ask. Of course, Aurelia versus Shyvana is going to be the top lane matchup. We've seen that one a lot today in Europe. This seems to be like the two top laners that battle a whole bunch.
Yeah. When you go over to NA, you don't see a lot of Aurelia, but then as soon as you come over to EU, you're like, wow. Everybody plays her. Everybody plays her. It's kind of like if you went over to China, everybody plays Renekton there in the top lane. Here, it's all about the Aurelia. And now, I think SK, actually so far the way that the pick and ban order has been going, are getting the better of this because they'll be able to counter pick the mid lane. Also, the first pick here from the top lane for H2k allows them to go ahead and counter pick both solo lanes.
Yeah.
And they got the Twitch in the top tier. So H2k not coming up as big as you would think.
Yeah.
But
unless they got a plan.
Yeah, they may have a plan for this. The Sivir versus Twitch is kind of a scary matchup. It will allow Sivir to go ahead and stay safe versus the Nami in the bottom lane.
Yeah.
But if you do get bubbled,
yeah,
the problem.
Here's the thing about that matchup, right? It's like it is very easy to spell shield anything you care about from SK Prime. A flask, a bubble, even like the Nami heal if they're just doing for those long range trades. But you're going to have a really hard time with auto attack trades.
Yeah.
And you've got to be aware of the Elise. Like your spell shield actual cooldown is a really important resource because if it's down, Cocoon shows up, Bubble shows up, you're done for. So then you're relying on basically Lantern. Now the Orianna pickup is interesting. It gives H2k a really big team fight composition. They're all about the 5-on-5s. They've got some playmaking. Sivir ult into the Evelynn into like a Thresh hook is like okay, but you blow a lot of cooldowns for an individual pick. So
yeah,
we've actually seen that backfire from teams like CLG actually last LCS week.
Yeah, and what this signals to me is that they're going to go ahead and use On the Hunt. They're going to slap the ball into Shyvana, have her jump into a team fight, and then they're just going to chase people down after they're low and staggered from the Orianna ultimate and dissonance afterwards.
Yeah.
That is the objective here for H2k, is to get those types of picks, and the Sivir isn't so much for dominating the lane, but transitioning into team fights here.
Well, we're going to see how well they do with the team fights then, because landings will be risky, and now you've got the LeBlanc coming in for Wat de Fox as well. In this mid lane matchup, we said it was going to be an important one. LeBlanc versus Orianna, the matchup here. And now it's great. Fabiven going to want to get into team fights, join them up with the team, look for dragons, maybe things like that. But Wat de Fox gets to play make all game. The assassination potential of in Aurelia hitting the backline, Elise hitting the backline, LeBlanc hitting the backline, right? Like there's so much threat on individual targets. It's going to put some fear in H2k.
Yeah, and Smitty, he's played, he hasn't played Aurelia yet in front of us.
Yeah.
But so far, he's been out CSing his opponent to see if he can make a lead in the top lane. I don't know if he can versus Odwamna, but the team fight prowess here of H2k-Gaming is much higher than SK-Gaming, and they're more pick-oriented here. They have the Twitch, they have the LeBlanc to pick people off in roam, they have the Elise Cocoon. You can also separate people with the Nami ultimate, just create dead zone for a little bit. And then the fact that Aurelia is all single target damage aside from her ultimate. They're going to be going after his prime target, possibly the Orianna, and seeing what they can do.
Yeah, and we'll see if they can grab that. And the difficulty, though, as well, is you talked about the fact that H2K's counts better for team fighting. And again, I agree with you. I wanted to kind of tunnel into the microcosm of Twitch right here real quick, just because the early pick Shyvana, the Twitch grabbed early on as well. There are so many tools for getting to that Twitch. I mean, you said it with On the Hunt Shyvana ulti, but like it will be difficult for Zyze to do well here on Twitch to stay alive in these fights. It's going to be a difficulty.
See if he can fly. If he can go ahead and flex, be an aesthetics bra, and see if makes H2k mire him by the end of this.
Let's see what he's going to get with this one. Here we go, guys. On to the Rift. Game 1 of the best of 3 between H2K. What? H2K. Wow. Well, not what I wanted with that one.
It already happened.
H2K and SK Prime.
Okay.
That's going on Reddit. SK Prime. There's not even a G sound in any of these players, basically. Oh, dear.
It's not even a minute in the game,
Zirene.
It's not even a minute in the game. All right. They're warding up the bushes. They're just fanning out right now, creating an entire line of scrimmage here against each other for H2K versus SKP. And right now, the sweeper on Gilius has already been used.
Mm-hmm. Didn't kill a ward.
Didn't kill a ward.
0 CS.
Doesn't have a CS for himself.
Interesting thing is actually Smitty saw a ward go down in top lane Tri-Brush. Of course, with the trinket on cooldown, it doesn't matter anymore. But and yeah, no real advancements been made right now by SK Prime. So they didn't get too much out of this anyway. Right now, just the standard line of scrimmage for these guys. Interestingly enough, Yarnen's actually hiding kind of towards the back lines. Like underneath his turret, doesn't want to get revealed by the fact that they're lane swapping this one.
Yeah, and there's actually an advantage in terms of ward coverage here. For H2K, and there's an advantage in summoners.
Yes, there is.
You know what? Disregard summoners acquire kills.
Sure.
And you're totally fine with that.
In your 2-on-0 lane where there's no champions to fight against.
Yeah.
Great. I mean, to be fair, like he's probably not going to get in any real major fights until 6 minutes anyway, but yeah, we're going to see how it starts up. Trashy, Odoamna, going to start up on the red buff. Smitty's going to spot that. They know about this this jungle route. Looks like we're going to have a pretty standard 2-for-2 buff start, as both jungles make down to the south side of the map, and the duo lane's going to be there to defend on both sides.
The thing here is Smitty is down in experience. He won't be hitting level 2 anytime soon in comparison to what Odoamna has going for him because he's double jungling right now. Gilius, on the other hand, like I was saying it, but then Zyze ended up blowing a summoner spell. They have a vision advantage here for H2K coming into it. When they walked straight in, there was no ward coverage. SKP didn't have any idea. They had to check with Smitty because they saw that it was a 2-on-1.
We're going to see how this pays off, though, because 2 levels now on both these guys here. They've shared their second camp. No, really, neither team does too much here. Actually, you're just putting a decent amount of damage down. I want to know if a 4v0 does start. Unlikely.
Uh-oh.
Bit of counter jungling with Bomb the Trash. You might see these guys soon. Okay.
Hello.
They spot him. And now, can they make the play? The problem is, so Thresh is recalled. They could theoretically 3v2. They know they're going double golems. I don't think there's a play to make here, though.
Smitty's not level 2, though, so they do have a level advantage. If they do collapse on them, though, there's the bottom lane of SKP is very close by. They do have AOD. Level 2 just came out for Smitty, so they didn't engage it previously. He's just stalking him.
Okay, well, they don't know they got spotted by the Evelynn right there. They're going to push into the turret, but the experience will be gained here by Odoamna and Trashy. To be honest, that's not too bad for H2K as long as they survive. Thresh is in the fog of war.
Yeah, AOD's off on the side here. They don't see him, but now they do with Gilius coming around. And now I know it's a 3-on-4. But that leaves Yarnen all by himself in the top lane to just farm and be fine. When they picked the Sivir, I said they were going to go for the team fight, and that's why they lane swapped it. They lose Dragon Control for H2K, but at the same time, they allow Sivir to go ahead and fight a Bruiser at the start of the game, which is perfect for her, because going up against Twitch, we said she would lose every auto-attack trade.
This is going to be an interesting matchup. I think there's the tools for Aurelia to win it, but it's really on how well can you spell shield the stun. Around level 3 or 4, I think Aurelia can actually make the moves to win the fight. Right now, I don't think she can, but at some point, I think she can flip this matchup. I do like H2K's early game, though. They actually managed to get to the bot lane in time to defend any dragon attempts, to defend any fast pushes. That was actually very successful by them. I like their early game here. But there you go. You're going to see a big damage comes out. Spell shield means nothing there. A lot of damage comes through. Earlier than I thought it would, but that worked really well.
level 2 Smitty, Equilibrium Strike, Blade Surge. No hit 10 style. If he had had it there, it would have been a kill with the extra auto attacks. But here is Trashy off on the side, and he loves ganking.
Gets spotted out, gets a stun there. Smitty there's with the W as well, though. Good damage coming through. 300 health, the flash, auto attacks, and a trade. The heal for the move speed. The chase on in. There's the Q, and there's the first blood. Zirene claims it. Great gank by Trashy.
Now, if you remember Trashy from Reason Gaming, his style was always gank early, gank often, get objectives and control them. And as soon as they get that kill top lane, is a huge advantage.
Gilius, nice minion right there, being a hero, saving Trashy's life. They're going to be right on this one. Just the quick push going in for Gilius to keep the freeze from happening. Smart choice to go there, but it does mean they know where the jungler is now, this Elise.
AOD off on the side. And Febevin's also routing.
Ooh. Had to guess his moves, couldn't quite guess him there. That would have been a flash force if he got it. Or maybe the W, but still. Hey, you got the QW out. Got some damage. Nice attempt here, of course. There's nothing really for AOD to do except maybe try to gain experience somewhere. Right now, level 4 Shyvana to level 3 Aurelia. So in the top lane matchup, significant lead to Odwamna. Right now, Smitty is not going to have 90 CS over his opponent in this game. He's down 15.
Yeah, big thing there. He has double his CS, but also Smitty, when he backed, he ended up getting the boots for himself because he knows he's going to be dueling the Sivir and he needs to keep that distance. If he's able to get up close to him, keep that distance short. If you want to run away, keep it larger. The boots is definitely going to help him in that department, but it's also going to delay his build. And being Aurelia, going boots very early on, you kind of want more combat stats. You want to have the early phase. There's a big wave down bottom here, and I'm actually surprised that none of the junglers are making a move on here.
And it's going to be the auto attack damage from these this dual lane right here as Odwamna just kind of AoEs down the camp. This is honestly not the worst spot for Shyvana. You can't harass Shiv under turret easily as Twitch because you'll pull aggro if you keep trying. So Odwamna really fairly safe on this one, gets a decent number of minions back out. Yeah, this is decent for H2k, though the turret is taking damage. Gilius looks top, doesn't find anything.
Here's Febevin, though, alongside Trashy. Oh, Trashy was revealed when he walked, but he's still going to check it.
He's going to go in for this one. Level 4, low HP, nothing to repel to. Oh my gosh, he almost saved him with the ward coming down. Ignite is on, and that is the kill picked up for Febevin. Very nicely played, and that's going to give him the red buff on top of that.
Gilius had to flash for that too, but he ended up getting the Ignite from Febevin. And now they have so much pressure, and it's the jungle respawn for Trashy.
Wow, look at this. So great timing. H2k knew their power play was the top set of the map. That's where their dual lane was. They send the team up there knowing they can continue to abuse this advantage. H2k are playing the numbers game so incredibly smart.
Yeah, and SK Prime, they're just looking to take turrets and try and get these objectives, but that's not what H2k are going for. They're like, we'll eventually get this turret, that's fine, then we'll rotate down bottom and we'll get Dragon eventually because now we have a gold advantage, we have a level advantage that we've created for ourselves. The ultimate already here for Zirene, whereas Zyze does not have that available to him. If they fight a Dragon right now with the Orianna ultimate and the Sivir ultimate, it's going to spell death for SKP.
Yeah, and speaking of Zirene having you know, a good lane to start with this one out, he had enough money for BF Sword like a minute ago. So he's like super rich when he goes back to base right here. It's like BF Sword, boots, and a longsword or something here. And yeah, if they do group up in Dragon for this one, with this gold, no boots. Yes!
The Prophet Phreak!
Play a little bit of 80 carry in my day. So, yeah, so like, right now they can group up for Dragon, teleports up in a minute for Odwamna. And if they can, now Twitch is already recalling, so they're going to have pretty close to item parity on the AD carries. But again, it's still a teamfight comp for H2k.
Yeah. But here's the thing too, is H2k, they decide to swap it back, like you said, but now they have Zirene in the bottom lane, BF Sword, pretty much in a straight out teamfight will trump Bilgewater Cutlass.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if they fight the Dragon, which now Febevin was forced to use his ultimate, it's not going to be as advantageous for them. But they still have the Sivir with the ultimate chase people down. Very teamfight oriented here for SK, or for H2k.
H2k.
A lot of Ks.
Yes.
Now we're seeing.
And 2 is like a backwards S, so they're pretty much the same team.
Exactly. Thank you for that.
So the 2-on-2 lane right now, bottom lane turret is already dead, meaning if you get the Gilius gank, it's going to be rough. But look at this. Great plays there. Ziz putting a lot of damage down. The ulti popped as well. Huge damage from Contaminate. There we go. Finally the Lantern. AOD tanks the Cocoon. They're going to be okay with this one. But Ziz, will he TP? Will he flash? The wave's going to land. Big damage comes through. Zayton shows up. AOD flashes the bubble, ward over the wall. Here comes
What
the Fox. Nice, jumps over, and the kill is picked up by Gilius. Excellently played. Sivir in the 1v2 was not the right spot to be.
Now they're going to go ahead and get this dragon off of that one pick. They also blew the ultimate from Sivir. For Bevan, they know that Shockwave isn't up currently. It was a great rotation by WTF to go ahead and apply the pressure. There's no chance that Trashy can get in there and steal it with that pink ward.
Wow, excellent play by SK Prime. Zirene fighting off where they get you in the bot lane, set that whole thing in motion, and SK Prime have basically answered for the early kill and CS lead by getting a dragon back and, of course, that bottom lane turret.
Yeah, in the top lane, though, is the only real tilt here. There's 2 levels up for Odwamne, and being such an item-dependent champion as Aurelia, she's really going to be down right now, but this is great on Trashy to recognize that.
There we go. Jump on in. Half HP. Smitty's going to be trying to run away. Flash already been burned, but there's so much tankiness right now. Just look at the damage right there. 0 durability Aurelia. Easy to kill by level 8 and 7 versus 5.
No ultimate available. He's 3 levels down. Smitty, he was the linchpin in the strategies that SK Prime have been using in the past. It is hard. SKP have been using in the past because he had the 90 CS up in that solo lane. They lane swap it on him, and they're like, well, now you're not against top laner. And then by the time they did get it, H2k had already out-rotated them and given farm into Odwamne. Yeah. So when he got there, he was very far down. But ooh, this is the duel we were talking about. This is why they didn't want it earlier.
Flashes the flash E. That's going to be enough with the burn down. No, she's dead. Nicely done right there. The solo kill. Zai's making it happen. Odwamne, yeah, he's not even going to try to chase, just clearing up the minions right here. So despite the lane swap, the 1v1 disadvantage of Sivir versus Twitch is so massive.
Yeah, at all stages in the game, Sivir will be out-dueled by Twitch. Early game.
Anyone.
Yeah, pretty much.
She's not a duelist.
Especially if you miss the boomerang blade. But yeah. So the big thing there is she's teamfight oriented. You can't have her in that solo lane. Twitch will assassinate her at any point in the game, whether it's early, mid, or late.
Yeah. I don't think there's a spell you can spell shield that would flip the matchup enough. Even if you block Contaminate, even if you block the cask. Yeah. Cutlass active, any of that's going to be
Contaminate would be your best bet, but that's about it.
Yeah, even still, that means you're going to get slowed by something. And you get like 6 more auto attacks because of it. Like there's no... Twitch has enough good spells, you can't spell shield enough of them. And
with his ultimate, he definitely outranges Sivir, who's in that 500 department.
Oh yeah, yeah. You pop. It's actually worth popping the ulti for an individual kill, even if it's just like 10 AD.
Oh, yeah, it's
just worth it.
Yeah, the huge range on the Rat-Tat-Tat.
Yeah,
and the fact that it has a low cooldown, it's already back. There we go with this slow there from Nami.
All right, well, Drummer's gonna have the ulti to get away if he needs it. Doesn't actually quite need that there. This could have gone farther down if he wanted to, but that's fine. Just pushing him away gets the minions without much contest. Gilia sweeps away some wards thanks to a pink right there, and actually, there's some decent wards set up now on this top side of the map. Trashy will not get spotted.
Trashy's making moves again.
Yeah,
he's abusing this Evelyn's passive that he's cloaked, walking around, trying to pick on Smitty the most, because H2k have locked that down, looking at the previous game, saying he's the person who always wins top lane.
Yeah.
Shut him down. See what they can do with their other members. He is half the CS of Odwamne at 13 minutes.
Yeah, it's interesting too.
As item-dependent carry.
Oh god, yeah, it's bad for Smitty here in this game. He's going to need a lot to get back in this game.
It's about to get worse.
It is about to get worse. Trashy shows up, but nothing really to do. The turret's too close. Also keep in mind, the rest of SK Prime's lanes aren't also really gankable. It's like, what's Evelyn going to do to a LeBlanc? Slow him before she jumps away, right? Like, and Twitch and Nami are so big right now, despite not getting a ton of CS in the 2v0 because of the fast push and everything. Those solo kills, the bullying away and everything, like, you can't fight that lane either. So it's kind of the only place Trashy can even go, right? And it's like, Smitty means Smitty's a sacrificial lamb right here, but if that means the rest of the team is available to make moves, then it's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, they've been making pretty good moves too, despite that for SKP, moving around the map with the advantage they have with the LeBlanc mobility and the fact that Twitch can assassinate people.
Yeah.
The next move here, when the dragon respawns, it's going to be does H2k's teamfight composition come to fruition and they get a good shockwave, or is it going to be Zai's just running away with the game because he'll have his Blade of the Ruined King? And
there's a chance.
Go straight across everybody. We'll have to see.
With Odwamne being pretty big, though, he can, like we talked about this in the beginning, you can threaten the Twitch with H2k's common. The guys who threaten Twitch have the gold. Like, Yarnan's not going to help kill Twitch except pressing R, and Gratz, he's level 6 already.
And we also saw how long it took for Odwamne to even do a lot. I mean, to see how much damage Zai's did to Odwamne.
Yeah.
Odwamne wasn't going down quickly at all.
No.
even with the Nami Tidecaller Blessing.
Sunfire and a Cutlass going to be coming in soon for Odwamna, so he will be good at this one. Look at this mid lane push, very successfully done. They grouped up, and SK Prime wasn't able to defend that one, so the early grouping went well. Another ward goes down. Odwamna going to go back to the top lane here and actually looking for the flank around.
It's warded, though, on...
Yeah, his gank route would get spotted.
So he's actually just going to ward it and transition downward. He's actually going to flank the mid lane.
Oh, this is going to be a good fight, but Sivir's not there. It'd be a 4-on-4 with a teleport available for Smitty.
Oh, here he goes. Turret's about to go down, though.
Turret is going to go down. There's the engage. A lot of damage at Gillies, and there it goes. The flash play. The box comes down, hits one. Huge shockwave goes in and grabs 3. Gigantic team fight right there for H2k.
Dragon not even up, and they noticed that they had the power spike. They have the Bloodthirster completed. Orianna had backed, had the Athenes, had spell penetration. They go straight for the team fight. They're going to get a second turret off of this, and they're just face-taking it right now. This is great. The turret's going down. They think there's safety here for SKP. Look at that. Trashy off on the side. AOD. They wanted to fight this. Boom. 3-man Shockwave Dissonance from Bevan coming up huge for his team, showing why he's number 7 in Challenger.
Yeah, he played awesome right there. I liked his focus there as well. Elise repelled onto him and ran around behind, but he knew the more important target was the 3-man Shockwave. Let Elise go. Not a big deal. Gilius got out. But
ooh, they're camping it.
Ooh. They're going to
They don't have a lot of ultimates here, is the thing. They don't have any.
Did someone walk out of the brush?
Oh, Zaitan!
Nope, Zaitan's going to put the bubble down, but goodbye. The flash, there's the Q, going to pick that one up. Smitty's got nowhere to go as well. He's going to jump down through and try to get away, but Exec's going to pick up a double kill now on this one. A kill back onto the Thresh, but Gilius has nowhere to go. Picked up the kill, 3 for 1, and of course the Dragon easily now for H2k.
And they got 2 turrets previously. Those tier 2s are gone. Bottom lane is going to be the next focus for them after they back and start getting these items and these huge power spikes for themselves, accelerating to a 4.3 gold lead almost immediately when they grouped up and used this team fight comp.
Absolutely phenomenal by H2k to find that battle, to get Twitch out of position, to just find the engage, and then everything worked so well. That is one thing H2k has been doing, is playing the movement around the map pretty much flawlessly.
It was a good move by Odwamna. He looked like he wanted to gank top, but then he came down to the mid to flank it because the turret was low. They knew they were going to lose that turret, but it also baited SKP into a sense of security.
Yeah. It's like, we have a guaranteed 4-on-4, take the fight. We know they're going to be there and they won't run away. It was awesome stuff right there. Unfortunately, for SK Prime, not enough defensive wards to spot that was happening, of course. They didn't see Shyvana at all until she came in. And it was a really good team fight there. Now, H2k not trying too hard to kill down bottom turrets right now. Yerna knows to be safe when there's a Twitch on the loose.
They gave a lot of CS to Smitty. He's catching up. He's only 1 level behind now. He's only 20 CS down instead of the 40 or 50 that he was previously. And now Odwamna is going to come back to the top. Has teleport available still. But man, 0, 3, and 1 on Aurelia. Very shut down. Only has a Phage and a Zeal moving towards that Trinity Force at 18 minutes in the game. Very delayed in his build. Very delayed, to the point that he might not even reach that Trinity Force power spike at all. And at this point, it's not going to be right.
Got to be careful. Cocoon's going to land. Big burst comes out, pops the ulti, but that's going to be enough damage. 1 picked up. Now Yerna's got to be careful. Shockwave only hits Gilius. This Sivir still trying to run away. Sorry, Vivid taking even more damage. Nicely played. The Cocoon and everything. 2 kills picked up. Now Odwamna limping into the fight. H2k way overconfident. Just 1 at a time, falling over. And now SK Prime look at Baron.
They're going straight for this. There's only Yernan at very low HP. He doesn't have a Bloodthirster, so if he can find himself a jungle camp, he'll get up a little higher. And AOD, no smite available. And the big thing here is it's a team fight comp versus a pick comp. If you go in 1 by 1, you're going to get picked off 1 by 1 by a pick comp, and they're trying for it.
Here's the engage. Good smite there by Elise. Going to pick the one up. They're going to trade 1 kill onto the support, but AOD goes down for it. So they trade off one of the Baron buffs, but look at that. SK Prime right back into the game. They make the 3 consecutive picks. They're within 1,000 gold.
1,000 gold difference. Baron and temporary combat stats onto SKP. They're going to back right now. They're going to start hitting some items for themselves, these desperately needed items for these players. Get themselves back into it. A big part of that, though, was Fox. He was given his first death of the Challenger series, but he's 3-1-4 on LeBlanc. He can make huge picks alongside the 4-1-2 of Zeiss. these assassins are reaching their potential to just instantly burst squishies on H2k.
Yeah.
Even the tanky members right now are not safe.
And the funny thing is, what's really great about this is the fact that SKP have been warding defensively, and so that when, like normally, right, the way you prevent getting picked is you get wards down, so you see them coming. But SKP is going so quickly, they're getting people when they're going to ward them. He's like, I'm gonna get this pink ward down, oh my god, there's a Twitch right there. And at that instant, they're already ready for them. So I love this play by SK Prime to be in the right place at the right time, get those picks, turn the game around. Now the question is, you're still a pick comp, but your opponent's going to play defensively because you've got Baron buff. SK Prime, how do you further this gold lead? How do you catch back up and get control back in this game?
You gotta start getting the turrets so you turn that temporary combat stat into permanent combat stats for yourself. They might look at top turret, they might look at tier 2 in the mid, they might split push, they might actually take control of the jungle of H2k because there are no wards in there currently. And if pick comp, if you have the advantage, you ward up their jungle and then you make some rotations with low members, like you put like low number of members. You put like one mid, one bottom, and it's like, where are the rest of them? Well, let's go mid. And then the mid guy starts going into the jungle, and it's like, oh, he showed bottom, let's go bottom, and then you catch them in rotation.
Yeah.
Lost in rotation.
That was good. Well, it looks like the mid lane siege still the target right here. No top lane push at all. They've actually given up on going for that turret right there. They're just looking at 5 mid. I'm not sure what they're getting out of this, though. H2k didn't even look to defend top lane, and no one's pressuring it.
So Twitch went second item last Whisper because he wants to deal with Odwamna as fast as possible.
Very caster-centric.
Yes.
See, that pays off.
Well, at the same time, though, Odwamna is very susceptible to What the Fox's damage, who went straight for the death cap and completed it after the Athenes.
That's true. No magic pen yet for What the Fox, but still pretty high base damages here. Twitch going to shove the bottom lane out. There's the look to control the bottom jungle.
Lost in rotation. We'll see if they can pull it off here. They have Twitch pushing the bottom lane. If anybody moves from mid in the incorrect position, like right now,
wow,
look at
that could have been a death rush. That could have been a that could have been a kill.
Very scary right there.
Yep, that 100% could have been a kill.
You
right
could see
there
AOD was thinking like, I'm gonna do it, but I'm not
I want
sure.
to, and he did it. And yeah, because of that, H2k got to the bottom turret. They took the shortcut, weren't punished for it, and defended this push. SK Prime are wasting their Baron buff right now.
Yeah. The best move that they possibly could have pulled there was to put a pink ward in that bush, camped there, because AOD did set himself up to be picked.
And that would have been bottom turret, 100%. 5v4, it's a turret.
Another thing, too, is that Zai's, they're split pushing with the Twitch. He can just go invisible.
Yeah.
And then he can show up on those members, or he can show up on the turret and start doing damage to it if you didn't rotate in time.
Well, they're going to go for the turret right here. H2k actually went to leave the turret, and then suddenly SK Prime showed back up. But the problem is, again, a 5-on-5, not what these guys want. A minion wave right now crashes to the top turret right here against H2k, but doesn't mean anything. Dragon is up, though. But Baron buff's like done right now. It's almost out. And again, this is going to be a 5-on-5.
Oh, they see Trashy.
Flash Cocoon not going to land. Gets away from that one. No Boomerang Blade lands either. So one flash down for Gillies. They're still trying. Dragon Baron buff is off. This is now a gold lead for H2k. The hook comes in. They want this fight. There we go. Nice Blaze going to catch up to Gillies. A lot of damage. This is going to be risky. They get the kill on the Thresh so far, though. 1-for-0. SK Prime losing one back. Their top laner goes down. Twitch on the side, taking a bunch of punishment. They're trying to run away. With Ignite on, he will disengage just barely, but H2k winning the fight 2-1 so far. They're getting some back and forth, 3-2 now. But these guys own Dragon.
Yep, and once again, a 2.4k gold lead now for H2k even before they take the Dragon for themselves. Big thing here is it's, once again, a team fight composition versus a pick comp. And SK Prime, they look like they had the makings of playing it correctly back when they were in the jungle. But now look at this, the team fight just goes 100% H2k's favor. Even the shockwave just hitting one person is enough to chunk them down, and they go straight for Zai's after that. They try to slow him, they get him immediately out of the fight, and What the Fox, doing what he can, gets Trashy afterwards, but he gets picked up himself.
Yeah. I don't know why SK Prime looked for a team fight with a comp like that, but it definitely...
Need more pink wards. You see a lot of teams that when they back, it's just like green and pink wards all throughout their inventory. You have open slots here. Granted, they are a little starved for gold on their carries. You see there it's 6.4 for that top laner up against the 7.4, but their mid laner 1.4k down, and now they're 80 carries, 300 down. Now at the same time, buying a pink ward is not expensive. It's just 100 gold.
Yep.
Go ahead and set that up for yourself so you can go ahead and get the picks, then transition them into objectives. That should be what SK Prime are looking for. It's not happening.
Yeah, exactly. Like the ward coverage is super important for these guys. One of my favorite quotes, I'll repeat it because I said it before, but it's Crapo. And he's like, yeah, if you're endgame and you still got a Doran's Blade in your inventory, sell that and buy some wards.
Yeah.
The most important thing you can have endgame is some ward coverage there, and it's just not something that SK Prime has. You're seeing right now the ward coverage of H2k. Theirs have actually all timed out right now, so it's going to take some time. Like, think about it. Last time H2k went to get ward control, they got caught out and died for it. This is the time that SKP can pick up random kills by waiting in brushes that they know aren't warded. H2k was stuck in their base the last 3 minutes because of Baron buff. SKP knows the map is dark, or could know that it's dark, but they're not finding their way into the map.
They are suspecting it. At the same time, though, H2k, they have more wards just in inventories, too. They're setting up for that Baron because if SK Prime get another Baron off of them and another pick, then SK Prime, they get another opportunity to play the team composition right. You don't even want to give them that chance.
No, you don't. You want to play your comp your way, not your opponent's way. Give yourself the right kinds of fights and don't fall into the trap of them. Right now, SKP, maybe they're just overconfident with the fact that their Twitch is 5-1-3, that they can just go for 5v5, Twitch will carry, but the rest of the champions can't do that. H2k now looks like they're going to be the ones looking a little bit more aggressive. Some wards have been swept out back and forth. SKP do have pink wards to fall back to. H2k don't get in on this map just yet. But Trashy's tanky. 4-3-7, a good score for him. Wards go down. SKP knows about these top wards. They're forced to back off, though. H2k, you look at this. They're all going in a group. No one's more than a screen away from anyone else. So if someone gets caught, they're able to regroup and catch up. You're the only one a little bit far away, but he'd be pretty much within lantern range.
Big thing here is that teleports haven't been used too much in this game for team fights. Because it's a pick comp versus a team fight comp. The team fight comp wants to group up, and the pick comp wants to catch them when they're out. So, Zaitan,
and he catches it. Fish on a hook. Kill picked up. No ulti comes through in time. What2fox also going to go down. Double kill there for Trashy.
They tried it last time on the other side of the river, and they got him. And now they're going to go straight for the Baron. AOD has been on these hooks, the new support for H2k. Gilius, blind.
Completely there. So there we go. Baron taking a lot of health down. They picked up now. H2k claims Baron Nashor 27 minutes into the game. Going to split their team members up, and a 5v5 team ready to start their push.
And Zai's, he's the saving grace for the team right now. 5-1-3, but he still has a lot of items to go for Twitch to be that unstoppable force that can kill the entire team if he has one frontliner in front of him. He needs the Infinity Edge, but it looks like he's working towards either a Shiv or a PD. And he's going to try to push bottom. So they had the workings of a pick comp previously, and it just wasn't executed perfectly. And against a team fight composition, you are much more punishable. Because when you enter the late game, people are like, all right, we're denying vision. We're going to team fight you in your jungle. We're going to take the fight to you. And right now, H2k, they have the Baron, and they can just farm this up. But
here's the chance.
Can he make the pick? He has double buffs. Oh, his
misses the slow, but he does get the Ruin King slow on this one. The damage coming through. Summoner heals burn.
The
flashes. There we go. Zayz does get the kills. They trade all their summoners back and forth. And there we go. That's maybe their way in.
Yeah, Yarden didn't flash there, but oh my lord, the crits. Back and forth, the RNG, the Blade of the Rune King active there, coming up big. That was crazy. That was an intense just burst right there. And Yarden was ready for it. A lot of the times it takes you about a quarter second to react to the fact that Twitch is there. Sometimes even 1 second. He'll get 1 or 2 attacks off, considering the attack speed he gets from the ambush. But he reacted immediately.
Yeah. He did miss all his spell shields, but as far as actually getting the guy, hitting the W, getting the damage output, they traded blows rather quickly. So, but those are the kind of things, right? That just delayed H2k by a full minute. That gave Zayz a lot of money to finish Phantom Dancer. And now he's got Negatron Cloak is weird to me because he's not going to take a lot of. I mean, I guess maybe from Shyvana.
Shyvana's going to jump into the back line with a ball.
I almost even still feel like Zayz needs to get more damage output to break through the front line.
Yes, the big thing here is SK Prime. If they had multiple threats on the team, like What2fox is kind of trailing off right now. He's looking for the Void Staff. Smitty nowhere even close to being a threat just yet. But he's the solo threat on the team, Zeiss. He needs to build more damage. He needs to trust in his team that they will keep Shyvana away. Like, even if it's like a bubble, if it's a tidal wave as soon as she ulties, just keep her away so that you can deal the damage. Because she wants to jump into the back line, and they're going to save their ultimates for Zeiss. That's the big thing here for H2k. If you had another threat, you would get so much damage off before the ultimates came out. But they don't. So right now, they're reserved to having to make picks, and they are completely on the wrong side of the map right now. They're all middle up against H2k, who are just pushing bottom. They're just going to go for a base race exchange here. But the top lane, if somebody wins that or tilts that, it's going to be huge.
H2k is so much faster here, though. There's so much damage output available from Sivir and everyone else.
Sivir's attack speed with Ricochet on is huge. They're going to teleport to these. Oh, but Odwamna is going for the defend here.
That's going to be the right choice there. They're going to get the inhibitor turret down right now. The inhibitor under fire as well. And this is going to be the base going down so rapidly. H2k going to make their way in towards the Nexus. They're a full inhibitor ahead on this race right there. And SK Prime not recalling nearly in time. Of course they are. This is going to be the game-winning push.
H2k just out-rotating there. And they're going to go for this Nexus immediately.
That Nexus is gone.
SK Prime, they can't do anything about this. They don't want to fight the team fight.
Yep.
And they don't even want to go to H2k, who's all grouped up. And team fight comp, just from pure intimidation, get a base race out of it.
Yep, they decide to start pushing. No one's going to defend. Keep on going because you're faster at it. Great play by H2k. I got to say, even with the end game being as, I'm going to say anticlimactic as it is, because it was. That wasn't even a close race.
Not even a team fight at the end.
That was Tortoise in the hair, and the hair didn't stop to like rest afterwards. It was just hair going like try-hard mode. And yeah, like that's, I mean, that was earned though, right? Like they were winning heavily by that point. They had made such great moves early game.
The question is, what is the move there for SKP? Like they basically said, we're going to make a very risky move because we don't want to play the waiting game against this team composition that will most likely just keep edging forward and forward, because H2k played it right. They're like, we're just going to keep grouping as a team fight composition, and you guys are a pick comp. You're looking for one of us when we're a straggler. You're not going to get that.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, right? Those happened occasionally. Right?
Yes.
The bottom lane solo kill from Twitch against Sivir, and then after that fight ended, he added PD, so he's going to do even better in that one-on-one. That's the kind of stuff, right? You don't group as 4 mid lane, right? You stay the entire game in a 1-4 or a 1-3-1. Like, think back to when SK Prime got Baron buff. Irelia top lane had outer turret 100% free. They could have warded left side jungle and gotten tier 2 turret in the top lane 100% free and said, look, we own this part of the map. We are stronger than you were a pick comp with Baron buff, and they could have gotten that global gold. Don't group as 5 in Siege. That's the wrong call for a team like that. And then when H2k got Baron back, you saw the solo kill in the bot lane. Keep doing that. Split your team up. Irelia versus Shyvana top lane was actually a stalemate. Despite the gold deficit, there was no progress being made there. The rest of the team groups up mid. Twitch stays bottom and says, if someone shows up, I stealth out. If Sivir shows up, I kill her. Forces H2k to split up, but SKP never forced the type of engagements that would work for their team after 20 minutes.
Yeah, they at the end said, you know what, we'll just have a do-over because it's best of 3.
Yeah.
See what they can do in game 2 here. I mean, it's former Cloud9 Eclipse H2k-Gaming.
Yes.
They are the former champions of the Challenger Series. They got first place in the playoffs last season. They are very intimidating. Their members are very mechanically sound. Their team fight prowess is very potent, and we saw it there. That's what they like to do. And every team fight, they came out on top, except for the straggler one where they kept coming one by one into SK Prime. You were basically feeding a monster at that point. You're just like, here you go, just spoon feed. Oh, here's
a triple kill.
Oh, here's an Orianna. Oh, there you go. Here's Odwamna. Here's Shyvana. And then it's like, oh, I'm all full. And then they didn't do anything with it.
No.
They didn't do anything with that extra energy and extra gold they'd made for themselves. They kind of just sat on the Baron. They looked for that pick. That could have been such a beautiful pick onto AOD.
I know.
But of course, you know, hindsight is 20/20, and when you have full map vision as an observer, you can just pick off those things.
Yeah.
But they need to be a little more aggressive with the pick comp when they are even or have an advantage, and they can create pressure and make a pick.
That's kind of the weird thing is like when you're a team where you're like, okay, we finally found our advantage back in. We finally found a way like back into this game. I think we know what we can do. Just grouping as 5 is not necessarily the best way of doing it, right? You still have to play the way your team comp is built, even if it's risky, right? You're like, oh my god, we just want a team fight. Let's split up and push all the lanes. Like, yes, that opens you up to getting picked off by a Sivir ulti into an engage, but you've got to be smart enough and have enough ward control to play around that, because your optimal gameplay is still that 1-3-1, and you do it regardless of the risks. You use your fact that you had map control to put wards to mitigate the risks. That's how you play that kind of composition. So if SKP can make that kind of change, or just run a team fight comp, then they're going to be okay.
I don't know if they can out team fight H2k though. We'll have
Maybe
to
not.
see, depending on the champions that people draft here. And from the start though, like SK-Gaming Prime, they did look like they were winning champion select, and I was saying that they were getting what they wanted here. But then the fact that the Sivir came out and they ended up picking Orianna, they were like, yeah, team fight.
Team fights.
You guys got Twitch. We're just going to team fight it and have things that get to Twitch.
Yes, because there was no peel. It's in a LeBlanc and Elise. It's not going to hold people back away from Twitch. And so you saw him have to, getting pushed away despite a 6-1-3 game from Zyze.
Yeah, 6-1-3. Same kill participation as his mid laner and support. Like, they were showing up to the fights, the picks when they happened, but they just the big picks there by AOD in the end to go ahead and just hook onto Zaitan, pull him into the brush, have him picked off, free Baron at that point, and then they just snowballed it over and over again.
So excellent play there by H2k overall, I got to say. Impressed with the team. Since last spring, since the spring split, have looked even better, so it's a good team. Now, guys, that was a fun game. It definitely exhausted us, so we're going to grab a quick silver sash, and then when we come back, it's time for Game 2 between SK-Gaming Prime and